Hi guys, welcome back to another video of JP Lightning. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe. I can't be bothered to draw that bit right now because, I'm going to draw quite a lot, so, yeah. You know what I mean, don't you? Yeah! Okay, so, let me just clear this. Okay, where should I start this? Okay, so, I woke up, I got out of bed. Okay, this is boring. Okay, let's skip to when we got there. Okay, so I've got a bunch of friends. I'm not going to say their names, but there's this boy who's really into Beethoven and all of that kind of thing. And he always wears a tie. So that's him. He's like always into classical music. And I think he's most likely to be a composer. So that's him done. And then I've also got another friend. He's got kind of more of a shorter hairstyle. Anyway, he's always the guy who's like really serious, never smiles at photos, but really, on his hidden side, he's happy. But not that I know of. So, sadly, that's not to be yet. And I've also got another friend. Well, I wouldn't say he's my friend. He's the wackiest of them all. Oh, yeah, whoops. I'm new to this whole drawing thing. That's him done. And then we've got another one of my friends. He is so crazy. He's just like so loopy. And I don't understand it. Like one time, we were on the trampoline and he literally stripped down right to his underwear and started twerking at me. Like, it was fine. And he was just like smiling as well, like smugly. Like, I could see that smug smile. Okay, whatever. So, that is my friends done. Okay, so, when I was walking to school, this was the day of the big residential. So I walked up to the gate and I met them there. And I said, "Hey, how are you thinking about the residential?" And then that's when the crazy guy, my friend, thought it would be funny to tap one of my teachers really fun, on the back and run away. Sometimes I just don't get that kid. So he tapped him on the back and let's just say he didn't catch the teacher's good side. So now we're all in trouble, sadly, which is not very nice. So I am looking at you and I am very angry. But don't worry. My whole dormitory gets revenge on him later. Anyway. So, that's all of that done. So, when we were all sitting on the buses, I was sitting on a seat here. It went a bit like this. So I was sitting on a seat right here. And then Roland was sitting next to me. He was sitting next to me. Wearing a tie, as usual. Okay, so you've got them there. And then you've got a guy, one of my friends, sitting here. Now this is a serious guy. Okay, so this is when I realised this trip was 5 hours. Yeah, I know. 5 hours. Can you believe it? No, I know, you can't, can you? Okay. Once we were about 2 hours into the journey, Rufus just started. So one of my friends, he just started going and I didn't know what was wrong with him, but then I realised he was wide-eyed, and I knew something was wrong. And then, before I could say anything, being the good friend I was, I went up to him and said, "Mate, are you alright?" And I put my hand on his chair, and that's when he decided to throw up everywhere. Yeah, I'm a little bit exaggerating on that bit, though. But it was pretty bad, so that should make me feel better. Anyway, I feel sorry for the teachers, though, because especially the one who I like, we had to stop the bus for about an hour. One of my teachers bended over and he started just wiping up all of the sick with this towel sort of thingy. Oh no, how have I moved this thing? With this towel thing. I could tell he was pretty angry with this, but he stayed calm. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't tell you, this teacher's bald. Everyone laughed at him, but I feel a bit sorry for him. Anyway, so he was wiping up the sick when one of the kids spotted a McDonald's. I mean, how lucky was that? So, I couldn't believe our luck. The teachers actually got us to go to McDonald's. So, I sat at a table with my friends and we started wondering when the people were going to come around and order our stuff. So I put my hand up to ask the teacher if we were going to get anything. Then the teacher came along and said that we weren't allowed to get anything. This was just a quick pit stop to use the toilet. And he looked pretty angry from cleaning up all of the stuff. So I didn't argue with him anymore, and I just started whistling in the distance. Okay, so then about an hour later, we hit the road again, and it took quite a long time, but we finally got there. Yay! We're at the finish line. That's good. Or was it the start line? For nightmares. Stuff that is so bad that you wouldn't be able to unsee. Was it just going to be pure devil from here? No, I'm just exaggerating a little bit. But it was bad, but then I guess it was good, so I should feel a bit ashamed for saying that. But some of it was nightmare-y, and I'm gonna stick with that. Anyway, once we got there, we met this guy called Rich. He was sort of our survival guide, and he started talking to us about the safety of all of the activities. But then my crazy friend raised his hand and said what all of us were thinking. When are we going to actually get down to these activities? Not today, my boy, he said. Anyway, that was all to our disappointment. So we all started sort of processing, putting our hands up all day, pretty much asking. So he agreed to a hike, finally, and that seemed to satisfy everyone. Okay, so this was before we found out what they call dorms are. So this was before we found out what our dorms are. So we went on a hike and we got split down to 2 groups. The hiking pickles. So the hiking pickles were most of my friends, sadly, which was a bit annoying. But pretty lame name. So that was kind of funny. So I teased my friends about that. And then I got put into a group called the Bald Eagles. Yeah, the best name, because they're bald and they're eagles, and they've got wings, and eagles are cool. So I don't know what you think about that, but I liked it, and that's all that matters, because I was the guy on this residential. Okay, so I don't know so much about their side of the story, but I'll tell you a bit about my side of that story on this day. So we all started walking up to a hiking place. Well, not to a hiking place. We just started walking around the area. So, yeah. But Rich was in the lead, leading us to this place he said was amazing, apparently. So we all kind of wanted to follow him because we wanted to see the amazing place. Anyway, I guess we all seem to look up to Rich because he's a cool guy. He's a bit like the Indiana Jones in real life. But no, my grandma's is the Indiana Jones in real life. Anyway, we kept on walking until we came to a massive chasm. And it didn't go back up again for quite a long way. I don't know stuff, so I'm just going to make up 5. I don't know how you measure these things. So then he said, okay, you're going to climb down. So I said, what? Without any harnesses or anything? And he said, oh, it's not that high, just go down. And I'm just like, what? So, with that going on, I ended up having to go down. So, I started trying to put my feet there and then there. And I think I was doing alright. Then I saw that I was pretty slow and there are a bunch of kids at the bottom already. Damn, I thought I would be good at that stuff. Anyway, they all started calling at me slowpoke and stuff like that. But don't worry, I will get my revenge on them later in life. Because I'm just that kind of person. Anyway, I thought I was never going to get down. But then eventually my crazy friend slammed into me and we all started tumbling down at quite a big speed. So that's basically what it looked like. I was kind of holding him up, but also falling myself. It would have been very comical if I wasn't myself at that very moment, I guess, because everyone was laughing when we came down. But I didn't think it was that funny because it was very much like I was under a massive heap and I was and you see people who were beaten up and then my head was just kind of sticking out. It just wasn't all that great, okay? Okay, so you understand what I've been through. Anyway, there were a bunch of fences we had to kind of climb over. Anyway, we could all do it easily, and we were waiting on the other side for my friend to come. And we were waiting and waiting until we got very bored. The fact that he was boasting about he was a brilliant scout on the bus, I didn't really seem sure he was telling the truth now, because one thing, he's pretty tall, taller than me if you look at the height. Sadness. And then anyway, so he decided to try and jump it. So he jumped, and as you can see, that didn't end up very well. He was on the floor crying. Some teachers had to come to his aid, and anyway, he ended up spending quite a lot of time there until he hobbled on with the rest of us. So anyway, we got back, we had some dinner. I can't actually remember what it is. It may have been beef bolognese, it may have been bugs, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was beef bolognese, so that's beef bolognese for you. I was sitting next to a bunch of my friends, so we've got the classical guy who likes classical music, got the guy who never smiles for pictures, and we've got the crazy guy right here. Anyway, I was still pretty annoyed with this dude bashing into me. So I said, "What was that for?" You know, back in the hiking. And he said, "I don't know. I just felt like it." That annoying kid! That annoying kid! Anyway, join me in part 2 of this amazing residential, where you will see the night of this fateful day. Anyway, this video was pretty boring, but it will get better, so you better like and subscribe until that video comes. And by the way, you better like and subscribe, otherwise I'll send those nightmares to you. Anyway, so that was how it was, and I'll tell you the dorms in the next video. So join me in part 2. Goodbye.